Welcome to a demonstration of BeyondCore's guided exploration capabilities. We have just completed an analysis of customer lifetime value. Let's see the analyst report. In this case, BeyondCore looked at 5,980 variable combinations and has highlighted 9 things for our consideration. First, it is saying state by itself is a very good predictor of customer lifetime value. And we can see that because Arizona has a much lower customer lifetime value in this case, Texas has a much higher one. Similarly, it's saying the combination of gender and state is very important. And we can again see that Arizona and Florida, gender really matters for your customer lifetime value. Now, if there were 50 states, I may not see the pattern visually. So the drop down tells me to go look at females, then go look at males, go look at Arizona, go look at Florida. I can click on females and I'll get the graph for females. I'll go click on Arizona and I'll get the graph for Arizona. This is just the reverse of how data discovery typically happens. Here the software has done the analysis to find out what's important and is guiding us rather than us having to hunt. Similarly, the software has shown acquisition channel and state, that combination as being important. And I can see California clearly. If you come from the mobile channel in California, your customer lifetime value is much higher. And that's why that software got highlighted. But acquisition channel by itself was not highlighted. The quick find drop down lets me go to any graph I want to see. So let's drop down acquisition channel and I see that it shows almost no signal, but the graph looks interesting. If I go to zero base though, what I find is the difference between these channels is so minimum compared to the variance that this would have failed certain statistical tests and actually is not interesting for us to see. That's what the software has done. It has considered all those variable combinations and it excluded things that are not interesting. If we go to the statistician mode, we can see the IOA, the R-square, the RMS residual. I can start clicking on graphs and now I'm getting cluster graphs. I can go in and color them by different variables. All the standard things you would expect to do in a statistical analysis. Going back to business mode, maybe what I want to see is the next most interesting graph. I can keep clicking show another graph and the software will in sequence show me the most interesting graphs in order of importance. I may also want to see regression information. So right now I'm looking at a 100-term regression formula. Here is the actual formula if you want to see the sequel. But the question becomes, what if I wanted to see a 300-term regression formula or 3,000-term? Well, here is a 300-term regression formula. Now, for a human being, it would be very difficult to calculate this because even calculating a 50-term regression formula is hard. And now here is a 1,000-term regression formula. The other question that comes up, and by the way, if I scroll down, I can see the actual sequel for it as well. So I could copy and paste this over and start using a 1,000-term regression formula. Now, the question also comes up, let's say I was trying to predict a person who was a female coming from the state of California, whose acquisition channel was mobile, and age was 20 to 34, and it was a new customer, and the household income was very low. Well, what's my expected customer lifetime value? Typically, it's difficult to go back from regression formula to a specific prediction and say what drove it. Well, in the case of BeyondCore, I can see exactly what terms are driving this prediction. And what I find is the fact that the person is female is driving the prediction down by 332. Essentially, females, there were 12,000 cases of females in our data set, and their average customer lifetime value was 332 lower than expected. But then we find that females from California, on the other hand, had an adjusted average customer lifetime value, which was 266 higher than expected, higher than the overall average. So these are the various factors that are driving our prediction when we look at females from California who are new customers coming over the mobile channel. And that is crucial because the software is again guiding us not only to what is interesting, it is also tying its predictions back to what aspects of the data drove that prediction.